Hello and welcome to the News at 10 on the 25th of August 1990. My name's Trevor MacDonald, and now for the main points of the news. Today, in Eastborne, there erupted violence on a massive scale. A reporter on the scene, John McCarthy.
Eastborne, a friendly place? Well, not anymore. After last night's tragedy, which has been the main news this morning, here I am, John McCarthy, down at Eastborne, just to look into what exactly has gone on last night, and also the repercussions for this morning and the future. Here we have next to me the toy train which was used for fun and frolics for the young children of Eastborne now, and last night it was used as a battering ram to break down the police front door, and it has now been used to bring in reinforcements of OAPs into this frontline battle. It is a concern, and soon we'll be talking to Inspector Callahan. Last night, as you're aware, there was a fair bit of trouble down here in Eastborne with one of the local citizens. Excuse me, sir, so what was your name?
Mould.
Mould.
M-O-L-E.
Were you aware of...
Sure
Were you aware... We can edit that, John. Were you aware of the trouble that went on last night?
No, never heard nothing about it.
No, you didn't have any noise?
Any noise? No,
No?
nothing at all, no.
There was actually quite a terrific a riot which occurred up in the main street. I guess you haven't been along there this morning then?
No.
No, you don't know if there was any involvement of people that were in your hotel. We hear, what was the hotel you were in?
Latham Hotel.
Latham, we hear there were a couple of troublemakers down there.
No, never heard nothing about it. Heard no noise or nothing.
No.
Quite peaceful.
As you can see that not everybody is aware of the trouble that has occurred down here, but as police files reporting, no doubt the news will spread. Here we are at Eastborne, the scene of last night's tragedy. The police have been concerned with the large build-up of OAPs in the area for a number of years now, and last night police fears of the gathering numbers turned into be one nightmare. Local residents and the community at large are still recovering from last night's riots, and really the community is still in a state of shock. With me this morning I have Inspector Callahan from the local police force, and Inspector Callahan, you tell me just exactly what did go on last night, what was the cause of this riot?
Well, Bob, yes, it was quite violent last night. There were a lot of looting going on and cars being overturned, but now the police have been clearing up after a night of violence. There's still some holding out in the post office. The post office is 50 OAPs there holding the post office under siege. The police are trying to talk them out, but well, the demands are quite tight actually. They're asking for an increase in their pensions and a reduce of the poll tax. I don't know if the government will be able to meet them on this, but we're hoping so, because they are holding a couple of hostages, which we're worried about. Of course, we're concerned, and there is rumours that the SAS might have to be called in for this.
Thank you, Inspector Callahan. And just with this SAS, is that not maybe a wee bit OTT? I know there is a lot of public concern that the violence could just escalate and get out of hand here, like it's happened in the Middle East, and we really don't want that to happen. And there is a lot of concern. What are your feelings? Do you feel that this is a reasonable solution for this sort of situation?
Well, yes, we believe that this is a reasonable solution. You've got to remember that these people are animals. They'll probably stop at nothing. Even now, if you look around, you can still see some walking around with their handbags and umbrellas, which were the weapons used last night in trying to beat people senseless. I mean, it was a bloody sight. It was really terrible. There was shops, windows being smashed. I mean, these people can't be treated as people. They're animals. We've got to realise this. 70 and 80 years old or not, they are animals, and we have to bring it to a swift end. And I think the SAS really is the only possible reasonable solution.
Well, and thank you, Inspector Callahan. And the situation is starting to worsen, and it certainly doesn't look like there's going to be a peaceful solution to this problem. And really, there is. I think we're going to have to cut short here. There's a group of 80-year-olds coming this way. Harry, watch out, Harry! Harry, watch out! Watch out! Still in our secret location. the gentleman with the blue cap is tipped to be the leader of the revolt. He doesn't look he's got a large smile on his face. He's a power-hungry dictator. He has been in power before in the Middle East, and although he's had plastic surgery, our sources do tell us that his name is actually John Gaddafi, brother to that madman, Colonel Gaddafi.
Have we been seen? Careful, they're coming towards us.
Okay, we'll
Start surrounding us.
right.
Is there somebody behind us here? Let's go.
Yes. Okay. Quick, come on, let's go.
The violence reached flashpoint this morning when police and ambulance crews were stopped from getting through to some of the injured people in the violence. The police have commented on this, saying that they just cannot get the ambulance through, and these people aren't being treated. This is a very dangerous situation. The old age pensioners are just gathering outside the pier, stopping anybody from going inside at Eastborne. The situation is worsening, and as you can see, the leader now of the OAPs there is gathering around in his mobile trolley, being pushed by one of his bodyguards. The police now are trying to control the situation. As you can see, she's being pushed back into her car. She's radioing for help, but it's just getting terrible now.
Here I am, John McCarthy, live from Brighton, with the final update, or hopefully the final update to the OAP siege in Eastbourne. Unfortunately, the siege, although it is now over, as you recall, the 80 OAPs were holding out in the Eastbourne post office, and although during the police were negotiating, Margaret Thatcher decided that enough was enough and sent in the SAS. Unfortunately, they killed the lot. It was a slight mess. Although one member, the leader of the gang, did escape and is now here in Brighton, and he's out there on the pier and threatening to throw himself into the sea. The police are trying to talk him down, and we'll go live down there in a minute. In the meantime, I have Commander X here, who led the SAS into the post office. For those on radio, of course, you won't be able to hear his voice. For those on TV, you won't be able to see his face. We must obviously hide this gentleman's identity. Commander X, can I just ask you a few questions? How did the siege go? I see. And did you think it was actually necessary to have the large number of killings that actually went on? Yes, but it was a wee bit messy, wasn't it? I appreciate that they did put up a struggle, but yeah, okay, all right, okay. Thank you, Commander X. And now down to the pier. Further to our earlier broadcast, there's been some late developments. The leader, as you can see, is poised on Brighton Pier, just down there on the corner. Police have cordoned off the area, and unfortunately this is the closest that we can get. It isn't looking too well, and although appeals have gone to him to come down, and that his wife wasn't one of the casualties of the SAS advance into the post office, he's still refusing to come down and doesn't see any reason to live. We're just going to have a chat with Superintendent Callahan, who's with us, who's come over from Eastbourne to help supervise this Brighton episode and completion of this event. Inspector Callahan, can you tell us what exactly is going on at this point in time to try and talk this man out of this serious situation?
Probably know, John. We have experts in the force which are trained in dealing with these sort of people, to talk these people down. And well, if they can't do it, I'm sure there's no one that can. As I say, they go through very thorough training and talking to the person and trying, in fact, just to get them down. And well, the demands he's making are a bit out of order, really. I don't think they'll be given to him, like reducing his poll tax and just giving him that 50 pence to ride on the helter-skelter at the end of the pier. I don't think that's a very reasonable request, and but I'm just hoping that our boys will be able to talk him down. We shall see as the development continues.
Thank you, Inspector, and I'm sure your men will be doing the utmost to talk this man down and bring a conclusion to this dangerous episode. And he's jumped. Oh no, I don't believe it. He's jumped. That's terrible. We'll give you an update as soon as we find. There he is, Harold Regiment Schwarzenegger. That's the sorry end to this saga. This has been a sad day for Britain, and a sad day for Britain's OAPs. A good day for the government, and really quite a splendid day for the SAS. Unfortunately, we hope that this will never ever occur, and that in future we'll be able to talk through these problems before we come to this sort of situation. Really, it's not necessary, and so many lives have been shed here today. This is John McCarthy from Brighton, signing off. Had a good weekend, Tim?
Sorry? Very good. It's lovely down here in Brighton, or Bournemouth, or Eastborne, wherever we were. What a wonderful weekend it is, and now as the weekend draws to a close, we say, be good.
Well, it's almost the end of 1990, and I guess also almost the end of an era. Tim, why don't you come and join me? You know, Tim's been with us over the... Tim's been helping in the productions that we've sent across to you guys, and I don't know, I suppose I guess we might just miss each other. Anyway, we will be seeing you fairly shortly, maybe in another 5 weeks' time, and we're looking forward to a good trip to the States. We've managed to pack all our gear up, and the flights are all set. Bill and Noreen for 2 weeks in New York. I guess it's all that's to be said, Tim, is all the best, mate.
So long. All the best, mate.
And
A safe journey. Bon voyage.
all the best. All the best for 1991.
It's been good knowing you. Well, and
Tim,
continually
and-
knowing you.
And Tim, would you like to say any words to the people, mate, for this Christmas?
Yes, I'd just like to say Happy Christmas for this Christmas, and for every Christmas, and for the ones that have gone before, which I've not had the opportunity to say Happy Christmas. That's what I'd like to say, really.
Thank you, Tim. And well,
As you say, it's the end of an era, a time of parting now,
yeah.
a time of sorrow in a way as we look back, and the fact that all those films that we've made.
Tim, I gotta stop. I can't go on.
There's any sinuses here. Please.
Okay. Do you remember this one, Tim?
Yeah, some good memories, Ian. Good old days.
Those were the days, mate.
That's right.